Make a fun mason jar nightlight for the kids. You'll need some mason jars, some holographic vinyl, a solar mason jar lid, and some frosted glass paint. I'm using a version from Plaid. So the mason jars I'm using are the pint size, but you could definitely go for the quart size as well. You would just need a larger solar lid. So the first thing we're going to do is paint these jars with the frosted glass paint. So I do recommend the frosted glass paint because it creates a really cool effect on the jars themselves, and it is see-through once it's dry. And I'm just doing one coat over the entire jar. You could definitely add another coat, but it will show less light through the jar itself. Just be sure your jars are clean. I like to clean them with rubbing alcohol. Add one coat with a paintbrush, and then set those aside to dry. Then you want to cut your shapes with your Cricut machine. I'll have the files for both the fairy and the unicorn on the countrysheetcottage.net, and you can find the link for that in the description for this video. So cut those from holographic vinyl is what I'm using because it adds a little something to these nightlights. You could definitely use any color vinyl that you wanted, however. And then once you've cut those from the vinyl using your Cricut, then you just weed them, and then they're ready to apply to the mason jars themselves. So you want to make sure that the mason jars are completely dry and cured before adding any of the vinyl to the outside. So this, I generally leave them to dry overnight just to make sure that the paint is fully cured. Then we can add the holographic shapes to the outside of the mason jar. I'm not using transfer tape for this just because it's one piece of vinyl and I find it easy to just peel and stick, but you could use transfer tape if you would like. Then just peel and stick the vinyl to your mason jars, and I like to choose mason jars that have at least one side that doesn't have any embossing so that the vinyl sticks really well. You can find mason jars intended for crafting that have all sides that are plain. Then we're going to add our solar powered mason jar lid. So you will have to remove the strip from the battery before applying to your mason jar, and this makes it where the lid actually charges, and it charges with the sun. So now when I put these mason jars in a room, as soon as I turn the light off, the nightlight will start to glow. You can actually have a different type of lid that you can turn on and off if you would like, but I personally love the solar powered ones. So now my mason jar nightlights are ready for any room. Again, you can add anything you would like to the outside and make these any color. Enjoy this fun Cricut project.